Car talk. Okay, so car talk.
Thank you.
Let's talk about something.
That was a very brief introduction
Do
today.
you like them brief?
Yes, thank
Okay.
you.
We can talk. Let's talk about something that you can do a homeschool connection with. That's really awesome and fun, especially in the winter time.
Love it.
Is looking at the moon. We have a full moon coming soon, actually. But if you look, even on your phone, it tells you when the full moon is coming. But if you start this experience, like when a full moon is starting, you can ask children to go home and draw a picture of the moon every night. And you ask families to do this, obviously. And
Call it homework.
Homework.
Parents, I hate homework. I think homework is ridiculous and silly for most all ages. But parents think more academically.
Oh, yes.
So parents will say, oh, she's got homework, you know? And the homework is really about doing something with your parent that doesn't have a cell phone in your hand. Like, don't bring your phone outside. Bring a piece of paper. Maybe give them a piece of paper.
Yeah, give them like
or
a
little
book.
booklet.
Yeah, see? Paper kind of stapled and
Staple
just send it
some
home
paper together.
and write it, you know, my moon book. And basically what they can do is every night go home and find the moon with their family and draw a picture of what it looks like. And they're going to watch the stages of the moon. So all of a sudden, you know, if you start the night when it's a full moon, it's pretty cool. They can draw a circle and draw the moon. And then, you know, over a period of time, they're going to watch the moon change its shape. And that's so exciting. And that's part, you know, when we think about standards and guidelines, that's what it's all about. You know, when we think about environmental science, it's so important for young kids to start recognizing
I think that it's such a simple activity, and you could do this with toddlers, but the parent would be the one who drew the moon.
Right.
Or the child could scribble on it, you know. But it's so simple to do, but it's all about connection. We know that a lot of parents are distracted right now, whether they're just so busy,
busy.
or they're, you know, scrolling for whatever they need to scroll for or whatever. But there's a lot of concern out there about just a simple parent-child connection like that. And something like that is just brilliant. It really is, because you go out together. Maybe we need to stand in front of the house tonight to see the moon best. Oh, tomorrow we have to go to the back parking lot to see it.
Because of the time or
because
whatever.
it moved or it shifted. And we're in New England, but whenever it's dark, if the child's still awake, if
It
you're
gets dark
like
early though.
But it does for us. If you're right on, remember when we were in Indianapolis and I was out for a walk and I figured, oh, it's probably about 7 that it's getting dark, I should go home, and it was like 9:30 at night. I was like, what the heck?
Crazy. Yeah.
I learned as a grown adult that, wow, those time zones really make a difference with what time it gets dark and what time it gets early, you know, what time the sun comes up. But we know a family that did this once, or a teacher who did this with families. And one of the children, every single time, wanted to draw a circle. And the parent would say, oh, but it doesn't look like that tonight. And the child would always draw a circle. And they found out the child was looking at the street light.
Yes.
They weren't looking at the moon. So,
Yep.
so maybe like make sure you don't have street lights around, because the child was absolutely right.
Yeah.
And the parent's like, what's wrong with my kid? She's 5 years old and she thinks it's a full moon every night. And we're looking at it, you know?
Yep.
Yep, it was the street light.
You need to find the moon.
But
you want to just
different
send
spot.
the little book home, send a note home to parents saying, you know, find the moon tonight and draw it every night and draw a picture of it. And we're going to watch the moon change and have conversation about it when the children come back. And then, you know, think about the awesome books you can read in class to go along. You know, Owl Moon, and, you know, there's so many good ones out there.
Starting with Good Night Moon when you're a baby, you know?
So many good books. So yeah, you can incorporate a lot and then see where it takes the children, you know, see where their interest lies from there. Maybe there's no interest, and that's okay. They still did an activity with their family and you had some conversation, but it may lead to some sort of different conversations about light and how all of a sudden it's going to get lighter soon. In the springtime it's lighter. And you have those important conversations, because that's what's meaningful to young children. You know, it's meaningful to them to talk about, you know, the season and the weather and the light and the dark and the moon and the sun.
Much more so than a study on planets and the solar system.
Stay away from the planets. They don't. Young children under 6 really have a hard time understanding.
Yeah, it's too far away.
You'll have a few that have interest, but for the most part, they don't.
So if you have a curriculum that says, oh, we're going to do a study on the planets or the solar system for this week or month, rethink that and say, you know what, let's look at the phases of the moon, because they can see it. You know, it's as long as they're not looking at the street light, but it's tangible, it's visible, it makes sense.
It's just good stuff.
Exactly.
Think about it.
Simple.
Let us know if you do it.